My name is Mike Lindstrom. I'm a business consultant and a business coach. I think the biggest thing to be successful is to be thinking about their brand, personal brand. We spend so much time talking about marketing and putting yourself out there and doing kind of the old school techniques, but the brand nowadays is online. So, including social media, LinkedIn, doing all the things that are necessary to create that brand online, not just creating a brand in the marketplace. That's number one. Number two is what we know is 10% of agents actually do 90% of the business. So modeling those 10%, what are these 10% of agents in the United States doing to be successful? And if you look at that 10%, they're doing a lot of things around their online marketing. And I think that's one big thing that I challenge all agents to do this next year. For agents to be setting measurable goals for themselves, the key to success is writing it down. It seems so simple, but we talk about this a lot in psychology, what's written is real. What's planned is only a possibility. But a lot of people don't write stuff down. So when it comes to not just your personal goals, but also your business plan, going more granular to what is your specific plan to achieve those goals. But the other part is being as specific as you can. To just say I want to be an agent of the year or to be the best agent in the office, that's not enough. You have to get down to the weekly activity. What are you going to do every single day, every single week to be successful for the whole year? And that's the key. When it comes to writing these goals down is to be very specific about their time blocks. Time blocks are very important. I see a lot of daily or weekly schedules where you see gaps in calendars. But I think on top of the time block, it's being disciplined within the time block. It's one thing to say from 12 to 2, I'm going to prospect, right? But guess what happens? Texts come in, emails come in, right? And then you start getting distracted and you weren't disciplined within that time block. So the 2 points that I always talk about when it comes to this is consistency and discipline. If you have consistency and discipline around time blocking, huge difference. The most common business struggle agents face, in my opinion, is listening to the masses. Like I say, 10% of people are doing 90% of the business. So when you go into the office, you're by the water cooler, you go to seminars, you listen to what the average person is doing out there in the market. And that's not how you think I call it a one percenter. If you want to think like a one percenter, you got to go be around the one percenters. So modeling one percenters, and I don't just mean within your firm. You could be, working at your office. You could go to these national conferences, or you could think about the United States in general. Who is doing amazing things? A lot of these top agents are doing blogs, they're writing, they're doing seminars, they're writing books, they're educating themselves. And I think hiring a coach, finding a mentor that you can gravitate to, that you can relate with, is such an important thing. And I think that's a lot of times what folks do is they're hanging around the middle third, is what I call it. You don't want to be hanging around the top percent. And I think that's one thing you got to do is find those mentors and those coaches. They're going to help you think like that one percenter that a lot of folks don't do. I make agents write down the 3 to 5 things that week that are most struggling to them. Cold calling, right? Going on LinkedIn and doing the things that they know they need to do, maybe send somebody an email to get the listing or get the referral. Make them do those things first part of the week. Monday morning, wake up and attack the week. That's one thing a lot of people don't do. They wait till Friday and then they don't get to it, and then it's a carryover to the next week. So if you can write down those 3 to 5 things that you should do, but you avoid because they're more painful, do those things first in the week. Very important. The journey to success is a difficult one for a real estate agent, absolutely. And the actions that they should take immediately are to, obviously we talked about writing their goals down, but there's a couple of written exercises that I'm a big fan of. Number one, go get a journal. Start writing into it and track your success. Celebrate the small victories along the way. But I have this really cool exercise I learned from actually a friend of mine. He said that writing an essay to yourself, it's like painting a picture of what you want in the next year. So you kind of get a visualization of it, you write it down and you look at it consistently throughout the year. I think that's a good one. Another one that I learned from my cousin at Keller Williams, Jason Lindstrom, he told me to identify your blind spots. So he does this exercise with his corporation, with his agents, where you sit down with a few people around you that know you well, and you open yourself up and you ask the question, hey, if there were 2 or 3 things that I can improve upon as a professional, as an individual, as an agent, what would they be? Now, I always say all feedback's good feedback. The challenge is that most people are not going to go open themselves up to feedback. But when you can go sit down and be authentic with somebody and open up about what you need to improve upon, that opens up those what we call blind spots. for you to go work on and be working on those every day, every week.